This time when I saw my ex-husband, he had become the nation's most envied A-list celebrity. And I was still wasting time at a small film production company. He and his first love were the golden couple on screen, adored by countless fans. After being tormented by them again and again, I finally chose divorce. Tonight we wrapped filming, and the producer took all of us out to party at a nightclub. I was sandwiched between two handsome men drinking away. Then, my superstar ex-husband kicked open the private room door, yanked me up from my seat, and shouted, "You've got guts now." Huh, sneaking around behind my back. Want me to skin you alive? Enzo's domineering tone instantly lit a fire in me. What I do is none of your damn business. I pushed him away and staggered 3 steps back to my seat. Elena, what did you do to piss off that cold and stunning male god? Careful he doesn't screw you over. How would I know? He's a damn lunatic, I replied helplessly. Maybe he's into you, Elena? Your lucky days might be just around the corner. That set off a gossip frenzy. Everyone's eyes sparkled as they turned to me. There's definitely something there. He always insists you join the crew whenever he films. He's always ridiculously generous with you too. Maybe he's trying to hook up with you? Oh right, didn't he buy you a few outfits too? I locked eyes coldly with my ex-husband. Stop with the nonsense. He's with Bonnie. They're about to get married, for the second time. Second marriage, a superstar has already been married once, for real. I no longer joined in their chatter. I stood and pushed Enzo aside. I've got stuff to do. If you want a drink, there are plenty of guys here who'd be happy to keep you company. Goodbye, superstar. Welcome to Love Story. I always thought I still had feelings for my ex-husband. But tonight, that overly handsome face of him did nothing for me. The girl who once bent over backward for him had already drowned in that doomed marriage. We'd had a secret marriage that lasted 7 years. But we couldn't survive the infamous 7-year itch. The breaking point was our 3rd wedding anniversary. That night, he hosted a live streaming gala to celebrate her first love's return to showbiz. Stars filled the stage. Half the entertainment industry witnessed their sweet perfect love. On the stream, the two of them flirted and slow danced cheek to cheek, as if they were soulmates. Fans screamed from behind their screens, demanding they become a real couple. Enzo, you've made me believe in love again. God, the way they looked at each other, so sweet it hurts. Be together, be together. Finally, the world feels complete. On one side, a dazzling earth-shaking love story. On the other, I was at home with a fever, taking care of our 3-year-old son. The glitz, the noise, the fairy tale romance, none of it had anything to do with me. What I cared about most was how he claimed to be busy with work while whispering sweet nothings to her. I thought I'd grown numb, but my eyes still turned red. My son saw my flushed cheeks and gently handed me fever medicine. Mom, take this, and the fever will go away. I swallowed the bitter pill. Just then the sound of footsteps echoed outside the door. Mom, Dad's back. He ran to open the door, only to return with his head down. It's not Dad. Mom, is Dad not coming back because I've been naughty? It felt like someone had punched me in the chest. I hugged my soft little boy close. I couldn't bear to tell him the truth, that his dad never even wanted him. When Enzo found out about my pregnancy unexpectedly, he insisted on an abortion. Even when I begged him with my life, it didn't matter. It wasn't until the doctor warned that his sperm quality is not good, and he'd never be a father again, that he grudgingly let me give birth. But to preserve hassle, not once did he hold our son. He treated him like an enemy, as if our son had ruined him, pure and innocent boy next door image. Dad's just busy. From now on, Mom will be with you all the time. Okay, my son clasped my hand tightly. Okay, Mom. We're the glue squad. You go, I go. Pinky swear. Maybe it's time we really left. My boy and I didn't want to be shadows anymore. After putting him to bed, I stepped out onto the balcony with my phone. Memories flashed through my mind. When did it all start? Maybe it never ended. I just kept lying to myself that it had, so I could survive. God, I'm so stupid it hurts. I dialed the number On the other end, it was that same sarcastic ringtone. Thank you for once lying to me so sincerely, over and over again, until I was in tears. Only then did the call finally connect. In my ear came his ever-cold voice. What is it? I wanted to boldly demand a divorce, but what came out instead was, what are you up to, working? The answer was always the same. He didn't even bother to make up an excuse anymore, even as the laughter of his first love, Bonnie, echoed in the background. I cursed myself for being pathetic, knowing everything, yet still choosing to humiliate myself. Enzo, let's get divorced. Tomorrow at 9. Civil Affairs Bureau. He paused for a second, clearly growing impatient. Is this supposed to be funny? I'll bring a blank divorce agreement. Fill it in however you want. I only want custody of our son. For the first time I hung up on him. My tears were swept away by the wind. After a while, I started packing my things. Other than my son, I could leave everything else behind. Let the past drift away with the wind. But as I packed, I realized some things were truly an eyesore. Our home was full of reminders of how much I loved her. Matching parent-child outfits, couples' clothes, couples' watches, mugs for two, most never used because he never cooperated. Whether someone loves you or not, it really shows. Too bad, I must have been blind all these years. In our only photo together, he looked aloof and distant while I was all smiles, like I was pressing a warm face against a cold butt. The gap between us was like a barber's straight razor, always burning hot on my side, freezing cold on him. When I woke up the next day, I felt lighter than ever before. So this is what letting go feels like. A form of self-salvation. After dropping my son off at kindergarten, I headed straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau. While waiting for Enzo, I saw a new post from his first love, Bonnie. It was filled with celebrities, champagne, fresh flowers, interlocked fingers, and an eye-catching kiss mark. The caption read, "Loving you means wanting to give you the whole world." I looked at it twice and then let it go. I had thought I'd be furious, but it turned out letting go brought peace. The pain I felt was only for the years I had once loved. Bonnie even sent the post to me privately, as if she was afraid I wouldn't see her happiness. I sat at the Civil Affairs Bureau like a fool the whole day, but Enzo never showed. Even when security came to ask me to leave, I stayed, stubbornly redialing the number that would never be answered. The guard tried to comfort me. If he's not coming, maybe he doesn't want a divorce. Go home, try to work it out. I shook my head. He doesn't even come home. Who am I supposed to work it out with? The guard looked at me sympathetically and silently handed me a brochure on the legal divorce process. Leaving the bureau, I rushed to buy some daily necessities and returned to my small apartment. After quickly tidying up, I went to pick up my son from school. He loved the place. He said it felt more like a home. He was right. A home doesn't have to be big. A place filled with love. That's what a home is. Not some big cold house. That night, after reading him a science story, I finally got a call from Enzo. Why aren't you two home yet? Not home. Didn't you just get back yourself? I'd forgotten. He never really cared about the house. It made sense. He didn't even notice we were gone. Before I could answer, he added, I brought you a gift. Come back quick. I cut him off. So busy? You couldn't spare time to get divorced? What are you talking about? I waited at the Civil Affairs Bureau all day. If you don't show up again, I'll file a lawsuit. Elena, what's gotten into you? Why divorce? Things are fine. I laughed, furious at his shamelessness. Why couldn't we part peacefully? You already live-streamed your love life to the world. Might as well make it official. We're not petty people. I hung up on him a second time. Damn, that felt good. We're divorcing. No need to waste more words. Just as I was organizing my son's little backpack, the doorbell rang. This late, could it be him? Sure enough, Enzo opened the door and walked right in. He wore a casual shirt, opened collar, his muscles stunning. Neat hair, a white, flawless face. He was undeniably handsome. If not for his cold aura and eyes that looked ready to kill, he'd be a perfect god. Back when I was a simp, one glare from him would make my knees go weak. Whatever he said, I obeyed without question. He was my emperor, I never dared defy him, but now, stripped of love's illusion, he'd fallen from my heaven, straight into the ordinary. Turns out being love-brained is a sickness, one that really needs curing. His barging in reminded me, I needed to change the locks. Tomorrow. First thing. The slave was ready to rise, starting with no longer believing in love. Enzo walked toward me step by step, the scent of gardenias drifting into my nose. Rage surged in me, that wasn't his perfume. That was the scent of her precious lover. Bonnie. If I asked, he'd definitely say it accidentally rubbed off on him, and accuse me of being paranoid. He coldly handed me a card. Go buy yourself a wedding anniversary gift. This was his usual way of apologizing. Every time he pissed me off, he'd toss me a card, as if I were some plaything. He was financially supporting, and money could fix everything. Maybe he'd never even noticed there were already stacks of these cards in the house. I pushed the card away, and took out the divorce papers, handing them to him. Seeing that I didn't gratefully accept his generosity, he must have mocked me inside. Can't even take the easy way out. Huh. I don't want a cent of your money. I just want custody of our son. I didn't understand what he was stalling for. Shouldn't he be happy to get rid of us, two burdens he'd always felt that marrying me ruined? His chance at becoming a celebrity, that I had seduced him away from his big break. Letting go should be doing him a favor, shouldn't it? I handed him a pen, hoping he'd sign quickly. Enzo threw the pen down and snapped, all this fuss just because I helped Bonnie plan a comeback party. Damn right, it's a fuss. Then why are you acting crazy? What does our divorce have to do with you throwing a party for her? Enzo stared at me, utterly baffled. He couldn't believe I dared speak to him like this. You're just jealous of Bonnie. You watched last night's livestream, didn't you? I have a clear conscience. That's why I streamed it. It's not like I'm leaving you out. But what's the point of forcing yourself into a social circle where you don't belong? He complained, pointing fingers at me, but I didn't care. I simply handed him the pen again. There's no financial dispute between us. Let's just get this over with. An awkward silence filled the room. After a long pause, Enzo spoke coldly. I admit, I should have told you about helping Bonnie with his party yesterday. Fine. This Saturday invite her to dinner at that private kitchen in the East District. You make the reservation, and make sure to tell them, no spicy dishes. Then he left without even looking back, not bothering to offer a single kind word. I was speechless. Damn. This is what being a simp gets you. Nothing but humiliation. I pulled out my phone and submitted an online divorce filing. Thank God for modern technology, makes the road to divorce a little less twisted. Now I just had to wait for the court to accept the case, and finally give me a fair judgment. In the days that followed, I made our little home warm and secure, didn't just change the locks. I replaced the whole door with a top-grade security one. At 5, I was making a nutritious dinner for my son when the phone kept ringing non-stop. Enzo was finally experiencing what it felt like when I couldn't reach him in the past. I put the phone on silent and continued cooking dinner with love. After a cozy meal with my son, I saw my phone screen still flashing and couldn't help but laugh bitterly at the irony. When I finally answered, an angry voice exploded on the other end. Elena, where the hell are you? At home. Why didn't you reserve the restaurant? Or you seriously? This unreliable, whatever, just get over here. Don't make us wait. Or you'll regret it, he hung up in fury. I almost laughed. Let's see who really ends up regretting it. I picked up the divorce agreement, might as well meet them. If he signs, we can finally speed this up. Before leaving, I asked my son again if he'd be too sad without her dad. After all, a father's love is something no one can truly replace. But my son just giggled and teased me. I don't need a dad. Having a mom who loves me is enough. The one who couldn't let go of dad was you, Mom. Mom, we need to be strong and love ourselves. From now on, we'll only love people who love us. See, my own child understood life better than I ever did. After settling him in, I drove to the private dining restaurant. When I opened the private room, everyone was hooting and cheering. The atmosphere was thick with flirtation. The moment they saw me, silence fell. Bonnie and Enzo were drinking a cross-cupped toast, clinging to each other like conjoined twins. The radiant smile on his face was one I had never seen before. Enzo's best friend quickly got up and called for an extra set of utensils. "Oh, wow, Elena, didn't expect you to actually come. Sorry for the oversight." The way he said it, sounded like some unwanted extra. Everyone gave me that smug, judgmental look. Enzo said nothing, holding his glass. Bonnie offered fake explanations, but her eyes were full of smug provocation. "We're just joking around, don't take it seriously." I calmly took a seat. Sure enough, not a single dish had chili in it. My heart sank. His best friend kept the party lively, acting as though I wasn't even there. After everyone had eaten their fill, his best friend looked at me with a mocking grin. "Elena, did you save the universe in a past life or something? How else did you land?" "Our amazing Enzo," the crowd jumped in. "Exactly such a god. You're lucky he even married you. Should have worshipped him." God need to be spoiled. The more spoiled, the stronger they become. Women shouldn't be spoiled. Do it too much and they turn into ungrateful. They kept this up, acting like their whole purpose was to grind me into dust. I was getting fed up. Bonnie took Enzo's hand and looked at me coldly. "Enzo is the love of my life. I hope you never make him sad." Yeah, childhood sweethearts. If you hadn't butted in, they'd have been married ages ago. His best friend added fuel to the fire. They all seemed to forget how back when Enzo's family went bankrupt, Bonnie's mother had humiliated him and forced them to break up. "It was all my fault. Back then," Bonnie said. "I shouldn't have listened to my mom. I left you and went abroad." Enzo looked at him through red eyes overflowing with affection. "If you ever hurt him, I'll slap you so hard, you won't know where your face swollen." I stood up, grabbed Bonnie, and shoved my face close. "Do it. Slap me. Right now. Come on." Bonnie tried to break free, pushing too hard and slamming herself into the edge of the table. Enzo rushed over to help her, shooting me a death glare. "Elena, are you insane? Apologize to Bonnie right now." But Bonnie smirked darkly as she stood up. "So this is the real you, angry, unstable. Don't blame me for stealing Enzo away. You don't deserve him." I stared at them coldly. "You don't need to steal him. He's yours." I tossed the divorce agreement onto the table. "Sign it. Don't let your wedding night get delayed." A glass of red wine splashed across my face. Enzo pointed at me in fury. "Elena, shut your filthy mouth." Bonnie rushed to comfort him, putting on his usual fake act. "Don't get the wrong idea. We've never crossed the line. He's my god, too sacred to be reached." That was always her tactic, making me look like the unforgivable villain, while she played the misunderstood good guy. "Then have your god. Sign the damn papers. Take him home and worship him. I can't afford to anymore." Enzo's face darkened further. "Bonnie and I are just pure friends. Just friendship. It's not as dirty as you imagine. Can you stop being so disgusting? Your filthy mind is an embarrassment to me. You better apologize immediately to Bonnie, or I'll never forgive you." I couldn't help laughing from how ridiculous it all was. Looking at this stranger I used to love, I asked, "Enzo, what right do you have to give me orders? You're my ex-husband." The room fell completely silent. Bonnie's eyes lit up with joy, a smug grin crawling across her lips. "Elena, is this still about the party Enzo threw for me?" He said it on purpose, to remind me I could never compete with her. "If that's what this is about, then sure, I apologize. Enzo just wanted to help connect me with new resources. Win-win." It just slipped his mind that it was your wedding anniversary that day. Enzo sat there, pretending to be the wronged one, barely able to contain his rage. "Elena, stop it already. You always wave divorce around like it's a threat. Bonnie already apologized. Why are you still being so ungrateful? Yeah, can't even take a joke. People like you not in our circle just don't get it. No perspective." Everyone started chiming in, like I was the problem. I tossed the divorce papers onto the table and turned to leave. Elena, you stop right there. You weren't even home on our third anniversary. What right do you have to judge me? You just want money. Haven't I given you enough over the years? I had just stepped out of the room when I heard that, and nearly stumbled backward from the rage. Behind me came a chorus of mocking laughter. Then Bonnie pulled out a check, waving it toward me. If it's something money can fix, then it's not a real problem. Here, write in any number you want. Just apologize to Enzo. I turned to stare at this absurd pair. I genuinely didn't understand their bizarre logic. Save your money to burn as spirit. Cash for yourselves in the afterlife, so you don't show up broke in hell. With that, I walked away, straight into the cold northern wind. I didn't get it. Wouldn't signing the divorce make everything official between them, a clean break? That's what he always said he wanted. Why was Enzo still dragging this out? Before I came tonight, I thought he'd be happy to sign that he'd want to finally go public with their relationship. Then I'd get mocked and humiliated by his friends. Everyone would cheer for the handsome male god, finally breaking free from the me. Bonnie would win the male god. Everyone would be happy. All it takes is a signature, and we'd both be free. It wasn't until the cold wind had blown away every ounce of delusion in my head that I got back into my car. That's when I saw Bonnie had sent me more photos. Pictures of them toasting sweetly, holding hands romantically, cuddling intimately. Bonnie looked down at him, like he was some rare treasure in her arms. If you won't cherish him, let go, so I can love him. I scoffed as I stared at the images. So this is what it looks like when you don't even bother hiding it anymore. Over the next month, I took my son to court several times. After submitting all their required documents, the divorce decree was finally issued. From that moment on, my son and I were free. No more waiting every day, hoping he'd come home. No more walking on eggshells, terrified of triggering his temper. No more spiraling into despair whenever he flaunted his love with Bonnie. I was so happy. I took my son out to celebrate. We went to the amusement park he had always wanted to visit. We had junk food he was never allowed to eat. I even bought him the sailor's outfit he always said he loved. Late that night, I carried my sleeping son home. The moment we stepped out of the elevator, he startled me. Enzo slumped drunkenly at our door, pitiful and glassy-eyed. He quickly got up, smoothing down his clothes. What are you doing here? He lowered his head, looking fragile and pitiful, caught off guard by how much my tone had changed. Why'd you change the locks? Without telling me the code? Excuse me, this is my home. Not yours anymore. Got it. He blinked. Those wide innocent eyes at me, like I was the one hurting him. I carried my son inside, stepping around him. He followed behind like a little shadow. I tucked my son into bed, while Enzo wandered into the room, curious. When he saw the peaceful sleeping face of the son he had never really held, never really kissed, he froze in a trance. We're divorced now. You shouldn't be here. If the paparazzi catch this, it won't look good. I used the one thing he used to care most about to hit him where it hurt. He hadn't expected the tables to turn so fast. Furious, he stormed out of their bedroom. He pulled out several credit cards from his purse and tossed them on the coffee table. What's this? You think I didn't earn that money myself from acting? Not at all. I've got enough of my own. Keep them. Use them for your lover. His face twisted with rage. So now you're rejecting my money? What? Are you rejecting me too? I told you before. It was all hype between me and her. Why can't you believe me? We're already divorced. What you do from now on has nothing to do with me. I don't agree to this divorce. Ridiculous. Did he think I was joking? Divorce isn't a game. It's not make-believe for kids. Whether you agree or not, the court already ruled. We're over. Legally and completely. He stared at me devastated. Suddenly, my phone began buzzing non-stop with new messages. I picked it up, of course. Bonnie again. More of their intimate photos. Cuddling. Cheek to cheek. Gazing into each other's eyes, smiling. Enzo snatched the phone from me and scrolled through, recognizing the familiar set of photos Bonnie had sent before. He stared at them in disbelief, again and again, until he confirmed the sender was really Bonnie's account. So that's how it was. No wonder. Elena, Bonnie and we actually. You two are fine. I believe you. Okay, no need to explain. Enzo finally dropped his cold, aloof act. He broke down and ran out. I watched his figure disappear down the corridor and instinctively wanted to chase after him. After all, he was the only man I'd ever truly loved, in the first half of my life. He was the flesh of my heart, even if torn away the blood still flows, slowly. And now I look forward to the day the wound finally heals. For the next full 2 years, aside from seeing him on TV, he never appeared before us again. Yet the child support always arrived, large sums without delay. Time is a beautiful thing. It lets you forget anyone you once wished you could forget. Until one day, I didn't find my son at kindergarten, and to my surprise I learned he had returned. I'm his father too. I have visitation rights. I was frustrated by him acting on his own, but what could I do? He was the biological dad. Watching him awkwardly try to win our son over, I couldn't help but feel sad for him. You gave birth to him, never loved him, and now you think you can just start over. The clothes he bought were too small. The shoes didn't fit. When my son saw me, he ran straight into my arms. Mom, is he really my dad? Enzo's eyes turned red, as if I had hurt him. Kids forget things easily. Don't take it personally. Honey, he's your dad. Don't you remember? No, Dad. He's a movie star. Not Dad. I saw him on TV. Enzo froze in embarrassment. The whole world knew her name, except his own son. A bad feeling stirred in my gut. He's not back to fight me for custody, is he? For a moment, I had the insane urge to take my son and disappear. Forget it. Let fate decide. The next day at work, I got hit with the worst news. The famous actor Enzo had signed a contract with our company. His only condition, I had to be his personal assistant. I was stunned. What the hell kind of stunt was this? Somebody help me. What kind of twisted joke was this? Yesterday he shows up to see our son. Today he becomes my boss. Tomorrow is he going to show up with Bonnie to flaunt their love in my face? God help me. I don't want to end up with an eye infection from watching that mess. But for the money I decided to endure it. Thankfully on her first day back at work, he didn't pull any stunts. But after work in the basement garage, there he was blocking the door to my car. Come on, let's pick up our son from school. I stared at him, dressed like some perfect husband and dad. It felt surreal. No need. My mom's picking her up today. Piano class. Oh, well then how about dinner, my treat? I quickly waved him off. No thanks. I've got a date. With who? Do I know him? Take me with you. He looked at me with hopeful eyes. I slammed the car door shut. It's a man. It's not appropriate. I hit the gas and drove out of the garage, heart full of mixed emotions. If only he had chosen differently back then, maybe I really should start a new life. Because to be honest, I was afraid of him. The tree wanted peace, but the wind wouldn't stop. And if the wind won't stop, it's got a plan. I had thought, maybe if he ever looked back I'd give in, for our son, give him a complete family. But I finally realized, Enzo would never belong to any women. He only used women as stepping stones, to climb higher, to see farther. And me, I was no longer worthy to be that stepping stone. That evening I had dinner with a writer I knew, just discussing a project. We were talking, laughing, raising our glasses when Enzo appeared, elegantly dramatic, and snatched the wineglass from my hand. Drink less. Your stomach's not good. The male writer smiled at us, amused. Just as I was about to explain, Enzo took over the conversation and launched his attack. Don't misunderstand. I'm his husband. We have a son, 6 years old. Sure, I've been busy, missed some time with them, but I will always be the most important man in both their lives. I don't want anyone disrupting our relationship. So, please, keep your distance from her. Okay, the writer smiled sweetly, arching an eyebrow as he responded, well, wow. Big celebrity. Aren't you with Bonnie? The whole internet knows. Also, you two are divorced. I've even seen the divorce certificate. So whatever's going on between me and Elena, kinda none of your business now, is it right, sweetheart? I was stunned by Enzo's dramatic performance, completely speechless. Elena, you better sort out your personal affairs soon. My parents can't wait to meet you. With a playful wink, the writer turned and walked off like a breeze. Enzo, eyes red, demanded, "Who is he?" "You heard him, my boyfriend. The kind I'm talking marriage with." I turned to leave, but he mistakenly thought I was going after the other man. He grabbed me and threw herself into my arms, refusing to let go. "Elena, I came today to apologize. I was wrong. Let's get back together." I didn't hesitate. I gently pushed him away and kept a respectful distance. "What's wrong? Didn't you already land yourself that perfect national wife?" "No, I was never really with Bonnie. It was all a PR thing. We were just a screen couple. I was just playing along. She was nice to me because she wanted access to my connections to climb higher using me. She's nothing but a gold-digging bottom feeder. She even entertained those disgusting old men." "Stop. That has nothing to do with me anymore." His tears flowed freely. He looked at me as if I had betrayed him. "Honey, you don't understand how brutal the entertainment industry is. I'm tired. Please, give me a chance to come home. I'm begging you. Let's remarry. I want to be with you and our son again." I looked at him, so broken, so haggard, like a pitiful little puppy, but I no longer felt the urge to protect him. Turns out once your heart is shattered beyond repair, the scars never really fade. I pried his fingers off the hem of my skirt and walked away without looking back. On the way home, I got a message from the writer. He said if I ever needed a human shield, he'd be there. He also mentioned how the Enzo and Bonnie scandal had been plastered all over the country, how he felt bad for me. "Finally," he teased. "Guess you're so used to flawless God, you probably can't stand us, normal mortal boys anymore." I laughed and shook my head. Maybe getting married, divorced, and remarried again is all just one big mistake. Maybe living with my son alone is not such a bad idea after all. Time flew by again. After I handed out another round of paychecks, big news broke at the company. We were heading to an island to shoot a film. The lead actor Enzo. And of course, he specifically requested that I go with him. He had me prepare countless sets of different sexy type clothes. On the first night after we arrived, he insisted I help his pick outfits. Staring at his perfect figure, I almost turned and ran for my life. He only needed a few words to freeze me in place. "I'll dock your pay." People say, looking at a male god is a kind of pleasure. But at that moment it felt like torture. My cold, perfect ex-husband, changing into one outfit after another. Handsome, seductive, unstoppable. My sanity felt like it was being peeled away layer by layer. His eyes were like hooks, slowly tearing at me. "Am I perfect? Perfect, devastatingly perfect. Let's remarry. From now on I'll belong only to you." Maybe it was my lingering fear of marriage, but those words yanked me right out of temptation and slammed me back into reality. I firmly shook my head. "No, we can't go back. No, I messed up. Can't you give me another chance?" As he said that, he slowly took off his shirt. A wave of dizziness surged through me. I wanted to run, but my feet were stuck to the ground. Just as his lips moved in to meet mine, I turned my head away. Tears slipped down his pale cheeks. Why does one mistake deserve a lifetime sentence? I shoved his makeup mirror off the table. The glass shattered into a spiderweb of cracks. He stood there, unsteady, vulnerable. I picked up his shirt and gently draped it over his shoulders, then quietly walked out. As I closed the door, I returned to my life and Enzo stopped pestering me. Me and my son lived joyfully every day. End.